Alright everybody, welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. When we left off, we had just fought a bunch of mummies and we decided that we were gonna give the mummy's curse to this guy who's a total fucking dick. Anyway, so tonight we're gonna have an extra long one because I feel like it. I am stressed because of school, yeah, I just feel like it. I feel like some extra Shadowrun tonight. Oh yeah, that's right, we're actually trying to escape the museum. I totally forgot about that. By the way, if you can hear like a sort of airy sound, I'm sitting at a desk that's right over a vent, and it's blowing hot air, and it's nice on my feet, so I'm not moving. It's just cold, man. It's been really cold lately. How are you guys coping with the winter? I hate the cold. Okay, let's get out of here. Wait, there wasn't anything to steal, right? No, because it would have showed up. Right, let's leave. I'm like dicking around in here. Yes, I want to leave before I get arrested. The guy's like, go break into the place. I'm like, alright. Your adrenaline wanes as you fly through the subway tunnels on your way back to Haoi. There isn't much left to do but pick the shards of glass off your clothes and congratulate yourself on one hell of a run. It's just too bad you couldn't keep the looted antiques. By the end, you'd managed to steal over 5,000 nuyen worth of items for your client, a number that will hopefully be reflected in your mission pay. The damage you caused will likely set the museum's development back even further. Not enough to cripple the project, just enough to send a message, but at the end of the day, you still managed to break a lot of exhibits, displays, and even the faces of a few tomb crawlers. Jesus. The presence of which had conveniently slipped Drake's mind. Surprises aside, you came out on top, and thanks to some quick thinking on Drake's part, you got the books and you got out. Oh yeah, I forgot about the undead. Thanks, friend. Back to Haoi. We gained a karma. Sweet. Oh, fuck. Your comlink chirps. It's kindly Chang. Hello, Auntie. Hello, my darling. There's a thrill in her voice that you haven't heard before. Come see me at once. I have something I want to show you. Your crew is already here. I'll be there right away. Very good, my sweet. Very good. I'll see you shortly. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you go, when Kindly Chang says, come see me, you go fucking see her, because, she can rock your shit with one word. Why would you go on the roof, buddy, and look like that's where it's going? Go on the roof, fun. Don't mind if I do. No, go over here. Go over here. Go over here. No, we don't. I'm like, no. Alright, into my... Wait, Kindly Chang, not the boathouse. Jesus. Sorry, I'm all freaking mixed up here. This way. She said your crew's already here, so I was like, I guess I better go home. What are you talking about? My crew's at home. She's like, no, you idiot. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about the house. Okay. That's Dr. Shen Yang. Is this the guy that... Are you the guy? What you want? Metal or something? Oh, sorry. I thought you were the other guy. Okay. As you walk through the mahjong parlor, you see your crew waiting for you, clearly uncomfortable to be so close to the triad boss. Then you see why. Kindly Chang's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard. Ah, Silver Wolf, you're here. Excellent. Nice to see you all. Should we grab a table for some maj? Let's get to it, shall we? You said you had a lead, Auntie. Let's do the second one. I did, and I do. Kindly Ching takes out her PDA and gently places it on the table in front of her. The wiretap we placed on the police force has borne fruit. Has it, Auntie? Has it? Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin. Her eyes take on a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt. My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between the plastic-faced man and Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit. Whoa. This should be good. Should we take a seat? Duncan, maybe we should sit down. Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There were some technical difficulties with the tab. She glances at Bao, who nods back at her. The person responsible has been sacked. Meaning he was put in a sack and thrown into the water. Or he was punched in the sack. I don't know. Could be either or. Chang reaches out a lacquered finger... Lacquered? Chang reaches out a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stabs it in victory. There's a loud, crackling noise at the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gobbet cover her ears in pain. When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away, as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman's is louder, closer. Say that again. There's something wrong with this line. I said, my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector. That's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have a department to run. Not for much longer if those two Westerners aren't found. They're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately. The two runners are his accomplices, too, the little orc and the dwarf with the cyberdeck. Gobbet looks at Isabel wide-eyed and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly. I'm aware, Inspector. Thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk be mitigated immediately. I've already made this the SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department. That is a problem that can be easily dealt with. My client wants this over, now. No more excuses, no more fuck-ups, no more cops floating in the river. Kindly Chang smiles at that and pours herself a shot. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts. Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires my personal verification that the threat has been eliminated. Hang on, this line is getting worse. There's a sharp crackle and the recording ends. Kindly Chang picks up her PDA and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap on her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw in the surveillance footage. The one who killed Raymond Black. She leans into the PDA. That plastic face looks a lot cooler close up. Hey, don't say the bad guy's cool, okay? You're making us look bad, got it? Fuck. I think it's kind of pretty. That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already know that there's an APB on us. All we're sure of now is that the man with the plastic face is definitely working with someone else, this Josephine. Is that all we have, Auntie? A first name? It's not just a first name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Sang. She's the one pulling the strings. Kindly downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on her table. That disease-riddled dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning. She drums her fingers on the table in front of her. And she had nerve to call down heat on my runners? On Nightjar? Oh, that scabrous fossil's going to pay. So, friend of yours? To that one. Chang makes a wet, hacking noise in the back of her throat and spits on the floor. She's the CEO of Sang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns to a mask of disgust. Josephine Dog fucking Sang. Let's do this. What do you think the connection between Josephine Sang and the plastic face man is? What? Yes, that one. I don't know yet, but I will. He called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Chang nods at Wu. Her glance lingers at his biceps a moment before continuing. Right now, all we know is that he's her instrument, the one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gun Show. She smiles at him reprovingly. Regardless, the plastic-faced man is still our best lead for figuring out what's going on. What is Sang Mechanical Services? Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Sang family, but after she fought for and won the contract to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began a rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the Executive Council. Wait, so there's connection between Josephine Sang and the Walled City? Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected the dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. CEO, huh? What do you know about her? She was Hong Kong Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2055. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution centers. Good causes, and the kind that get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people doing the hard work. The face-to-face with the poor work. Or poor wonk. Wait, what'd you say? I totally read that wrong. Anyway. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Auntie Chang smiles at her sweetly. Coming face to face with the unsanitized for video poor is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and a philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Singh is a lying, conniving bitch. Philanthropist and bitch. Those two things sound mutually exclusive. She snorts derisively. Wake up, Silver Wolf. Power is power. Whether you're providing children with 3 hots and a cot or you're negotiating a treaty with a multinational, it's all the same. It doesn't sound like you like it very much. Whatever gave you that impression, my sweet? Her wolfish smile returns. No, my darling. I don't like Josephine Singh, and I'm going to fuck her up. I'm going to fuck her up bad. Care to elaborate on that, Auntie? Oh, this should be good. Let's do that one. It will be delicious, and I may explain why someday, but not today. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift your way. But when I finally get her, you'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. Remind me who this executive council is again. May I, Auntie? Isabel breaks in, giving kindly Cheng a chance to calm down a bit. Hong Kong is run by a consortium of powerful corporations called the Board of Governors, who set up the Executive Council, an 8-member committee of exemplary Hong Kong citizens to represent the people and run the city on their behalf. But of course you don't vote for them. That would be too unpredictable. Instead, every 2 years, 2 Executive Council slots come up for election, and the corporations on the Board of Governors put up some possible candidates and vote among themselves in a closed-door session. Closed door? I'm shocked. Of course, every single one of these candidates is on some corporation's payroll somehow. Wham bam, instant government. Let's cut to the chase. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Singh, as much as I hate to admit it. But the plastic face man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Her little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Singh thinks she can take out 2 of my runners and get away with it, I'm going to have to explain things to her. She pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it between her nose. We're going to find the plastic-faced man, and we are going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does, and then we will use that to strike back at Josephine Singh. She lights her cigar and takes a deep, deep pull. You will have your vengeance, and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out. I have work to do. Thank you, Auntie. Oh, you guys just peacing out? Alright, I'll see you at the boat. You just fucking leave me. They're like, well, see you later, Octa. Wait, no. I didn't name him Octa. I named him Wolford. Right? Who would know? What did I name him? Did I name him Octa? I did name him Octa. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, did I name him Octa or Wolford? Octa or Wolford? So, Wolford is, a character from my waifu for life who Ashley's and I, our stories that we write. There's a character named Wolfric. And sometimes I'll name characters in video games like this after those characters. Octolados is my D&D character. Okay, let's see if our brother will give us more than I'm doing push-ups. Because he's just like, oh, work it out, bro. And I'm like, well, I can work out with you and we can conversate at the same time. Duncan. There we go. Duncan. You enter to find Wu stalking the floor silently, one hand held rigidly near his hip, the other flexing and unflexing again and again. When he notices you, he nods once and goes back to his caged panther routine. You're gonna wear a hole in the floor that way. Wu keeps pacing. Need something? Are you going to be okay? Yep, just trying to maintain. Pacing helps. He's like, been thinking about Josephine saying what she did to our family, what she did to Carter. His pace increases a bit and his tusks jut forward slightly. Josephine saying. Goddamn Josephine saying. Don't fixate on her, Wu. Try not to lecture me, Octa, and this isn't me being fixated, I'm focused. You heard kindly Chang. The woman is ruthless, and we have our own evidence of that, don't we? She hurt us, hurt me. Now the old Duncan is coming out to play. Wu's eyes smolder. Here's what we do. We walk into Sing headquarters and ask for the boss. When she comes down, we grab her, take her somewhere quiet, and ask her why she had Carter and those runners killed. Find out what happened to Raymond, whether he's alive or dead. What happens next is up to her. I think the direct method will result in a quick death. Kidnap a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council while there's an APB out on us? These are both good. Let's do this one. They'll never see it coming. That's why the plan's so beautiful. This is the way to go, my way. My way, Duncan? Let's do that one. Yeah, my way. There's one way this is gonna go. He catches himself. Understanding appears in his eyes. Oh crap, that's what Ray used to say. Raymond Black, our benevolent dictator. No questioning his rules, no falling short of his expectations. It was his way or the wrong way. When you get the full-on Raymond treatment, Raymond could be pretty harsh when we didn't live up to his standards. Sure. I like that one. Oh man, do you think? You remember what happened a few years after we moved out of the squat and into his house? The thing with the double tray and lockjaw when he accused us of relapsing back into our old ways? Man, that was when Ray's authority finally got tested. His raspy baritone is tinged with satisfaction, when I finally stood up to him. Yep, the way he handled that was part of the reason I eventually left. He just wouldn't listen. He could be pretty damn rigid, but then again, we both could be. He couldn't hear a word you were saying. I'd never seen him so angry. Kind of like the first one. Sure, I like that one. I thought that might have been part of it, but to be fair, I wasn't listening either. That was our pattern, wasn't it? I wouldn't listen, he wouldn't listen, then we butted heads, rinse and repeat once every few weeks. He smiles, but it's filled with regret. But that time was the worst. His face settles into an expression of resignation. Okay, Mr. Lados, we don't need to do things my way. No need for us to butt heads. He stretches, you can hear his joints crack. And on that note, I'm gonna have to ask you to clear out. It's been another long day. You think this is bad? Try prison. You know what? I'd rather not. I've put enough people away to know what it's like on the inside. Anyway, have a good night, Octa. I'll catch you tomorrow. Gosh, you're just pacing back and forth and you're having an emotional conversation with me. No. Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and talk to my boy. Mr. Grumpy Gus over there. Claim payment for your run to the mission computer. Oh, let me go talk to Ractor first. Welcome back, my friend. What can I do for you? Got a few more questions for you if you don't mind. He raises an eyebrow. Go ahead and ask, my friend. I'm not stopping you. You mentioned that the Second Euro War was sparked off by the AFA. Who were they? He takes a drag on a cigarette. He's one of those. I love it. Ah, that story. Ah, yes, I suppose that you wouldn't know. They were only active for the years surrounding the conflict, after all. I've been messaged. The AFA was the Alliance for Allah, serving under Mullah Saeed Jazrir? I hope I said that right. Yes? A coalition of right-wing and Middle Eastern governments that assembled after the failure, some say sabotage, of the United Islamic Conference. They looked to a weakened Europe and saw an opportunity, one that my country was entirely responsible for creating. And so they launched a surprise attack? Yes, but in hindsight we should have foreseen it. Ultimately, the AFA did what any hawkish power would have done in their position. I cannot fault them for taking advantage of Europe's weakened state. Given their circumstances, they would have been foolish not to. So, what happened? How did the war end? Yeah, let's do that one. The AFA folded in 37 after Jazreer's assassination. A lucky thing for us, too. The body count could have been a great deal higher. In the years that they were active, the AFA gave us a hell of a fight. Stop for something else. What can you tell me about the the colleagues who stole your work? Today they call themselves Taylor and Hardingham. He speaks through clenched teeth. Cochet drags a claw across the ground, and you can hear the squeal of metal on metal. Those aren't their real names, obviously. They shed their former identities when they left their old lives behind. What were they called when you worked with them back at Grecian Avigor? It doesn't matter. Those men are as dead to me as they are to the world. My old colleagues no longer exist. Taylor and Hardingham are all that remain. They are targets now, nothing more. He idly brushes Cochet's armored chassis with the fingertips of his right hand. Well, how wonderful it would be to find them. What a reunion we'll have. Any thoughts about that last run? Did you see those fucking zombies? Oh. I did, however, make an exciting breakthrough on some actuator design work that I've been tinkering with. Ooh. Nothing. Gotta go. Be well, my friend. Come back anytime. I will. I like just walking into your room and rudely being like, what up, Home Slice? And you're just like, robots. And I'm just like, cool. Alright. Sorry, hold on. My friend Key just sent me a picture of baby rats. They're very cute. Oh, my workstation computer. This one. I have 3 unread messages. Urgent task. Little birds have been whispering in my ear about an urgent and high-paying run. Steel-armed Lou, a red pole, managed to get his hands on information concerning a prototype laser weapon in development by Ares Asia Holdings. For years, the Yellow Lotus and the Red Dragon have been locked in a cold war. Despite this, it remained evenly matched. Neither one of us can attack the other without being exposed to devastating reprisals. Lou wants to change this, and he has a plan. Rather than strike directly, Lou intends to aim external forces at the Red Dragon, specifically Knight Errant. He intends to frame a white paper fan named Golden Fawn, making it appear that the Red Dragon had been bribing Ares researchers for classified data. 2 leading drone and energy weapons researchers have recently transferred from London to Hong Kong and are running the project. Doctors Taylor and Hardingham were respected in Europe, but in Hong Kong they remain unknown quantities. They're untrusted and therefore are considered untrustworthy. Perfect targets, in other words. We will provide the data that will make it look as if the researchers were contacted by Golden Fong and made quite a bit of money, but grew tired of the arrangement. Transfer the attached files to a data chip. The files are bundled with the worm program, which will auto-execute when inserted into the appropriate systems. You need not bring a Decker, though one may be helpful. You will need to plant data in the visitor record system, the camera systems in Hardingham and Taylor's lab. Financial data is to be transferred to Dr. Taylor's personal terminal. That in and of itself will not be enough to ensure Knight Errant involvement, however. Planting the data is only the first part of your task. This is where a heavier touch will be required. You will also need to steal their prototype laser weapon. There is a GPS tracking device attached to it, which Lou will plant deep in Red Dragon territory. The apparent theft of a prototype weapon by a disgruntled Triad member should convince Ares to dispatch overwhelming forces against the Red Dragon, dealing them a vicious blow. As a note, Lou does not care what becomes of the laser weapon. If you wish to sell it or keep it, feel free. I have also attached a map of your extraction route from the building. During the facility's expansion in 2052, Ares Asia was forced to extend their foundations deeper into the island. They drove piles through the former site of the central MTR station, which partially collapsed during the Dalu Bay earthquake of 2044. Practically, this means that you can exit through the basement directly onto the new MTR line through Central. With any luck, you can be gone without anyone knowing how. I could have left it in knowing, it would have been fine. Unfortunately, this route is heavily alarmed, so you will be forced to go in the front door. If you can con the front desk, you should have no problems. The facility is both an office and a residence, so strange people coming and going at odd hours is not unusual. If you're not up to the fast talk, however, be prepared to shoot your way in. Lou does not care if you are loud or quiet, but a word of caution. He came by all this information via the loose lips of one of the research team. Other fixers know of this job. Move fast and you are guaranteed success. But there are definitely other Shadowrunners with an eye on your prize. Oh, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna talk my boy. Very well. Still arm loose sends his regards, and bids you good fortune and plentiful ammunition. The dramatic git. Don't die, Silverwolf. Our arrangement has been very profitable so far, and I would hate to lose that. Okay, 1 second. Payment. Cement is finished, and ooh, good work out there, kid. Here's the money I promised you. Dr. Sean Yang. Ooh, museum. Well done. I've attached the payment you're owed. I trust that you'll keep quiet about what exactly was liberated from Lou's little museum. I'll come collect the books from Kindly Ching shortly. Mr. Drake. Okay. Walk away. I need to go talk to our boy. Like, listen, Rector, I have information. The baby rat's name is Mocha. Just thought you guys want to know that. My friend, there is something that I would like to discuss with you. Something related to the Aries run that you recently accepted. Ooh, I knew he was gonna say something. My sexy boy. Oh, I just punched my microphone. Okay. You may recall my story about my former colleagues, Taylor and Hardingham, the ones who stole my research. They work at that facility. If the auto repair circuits that they took from me still exist, they are there. I need you to bring me on the run to retrieve them. Of course, you'll be the first man on the train when we head out. Thank you, my friend. You will not regret this decision, I guarantee it. You should never say that to me, because I will immediately regret it. I'll regret it so fucking hard. Okay, let's do our karma. Because I got 8. I remember I was going to do something with it, and I totally fucking forgot. So, maybe I should bring my body up. I love that I'm doing mostly charisma and body. Like, I'll just talk my way in and out of shit. Fuck it. Conjuring. Yeah, I could bring my charisma up. Left on my gun is not wise at fucking all. It's like, I'm not smart. I use a lot of magic, though, if I'm being totally honest. Intelligence. I'm gonna Decker. Ooh, that would be a good idea. That one right there. Because I do use a lot of those. Let's do that. That's a good idea. That means I'm using my big brain. Throwing weapons. I don't use throwing weapons. Increase HP damage plus 10 versus armor. He's really strong. I want to bring up my charisma, but I also want to bring up my bod. I'm not too worried about my bod. I'm totally honest. I should bring it up, but I didn't. Increase the chance for a shaman to maintain control of a summoned spirit. That's probably a good idea. Maybe since yes, my pistol. Where's my shotgun? My SMG, my shotgun, which I have. Let's upgrade my shotgun. And unarmed. I don't use throwing weapons. How about my intelligence? That's pretty low. Drone combat. Sure, that sounds genius. I'll do my charisma next time, though. And I'll just keep the one for later. Okay, we have to go on our next job. I should take a little nap, but my guy is like just like whatever, right? Let's save it. Let's be smart. Let's save it. We can go on 2 runs, one after the other, who needs sleep. Why are there 2 arrows? What's this? Let's bring up this and... No, wrong. This one. Optional. Give the evidence of Neville Law to Dr. Chang. I bet it's just an option. But you didn't want to talk to me. You told me to fuck off in a not so nice manner. You literally like, get away from me. Fucking weirdo. I'm like, fuck you. That's not what I said at all. I did, right? I was like, hey, I got some shit for you. Okay, so he does not care. I don't know. It says I have an option to go to sleep, but I'm gonna go on. Maybe I should. I wonder if I get some sleep first. Let's see what happens. Will my job be stolen? Let's see if I have more nightmares. And I can go do that shit. With Raptor. He needs it. Alright, let's get some sleep. I feel like if I don't, then Dunk will be like, bro. And I'll be like, what? I'm tired. A stabbing pain in your stomach jolts you awake. Your entire abdomen is cramping up. You roll in your cot, willing the shooting pains that radiate from your stomach to go away. Your mouth is bone dry and your tongue is swollen. It feels thick and inarticulate, like a useless slab of meat. A quick glance at your PDA tells you that it's 4 a.m. Outside of your cabin, the rest of Heyo sleeps. All that you remember of the dream that you awoke from is a horrible, unfulfilling yearning, and a need to get where you were going first. Others were behind you. You could feel the heat of their breath on your neck. If you were to beat them to your destination, you could slam the door in their faces, keep them out and away from what is yours. But if they overtook you, you would feel that terrible longing forever. As you grasp at your last fleeting memories of the dream, a wave of exhaustion washes over you. It feels like you've been drugged. You collapse back into your cot and into a black, dreamless sleep. When you open your eyes again, the sun filters in under your door. It's morning. Duncan, I'm having nightmares, bro. You're being very unsupportive of me. Just like every time. Just like, Duncan. We're adopted. Bad timing, Octa. I think I ate something that was off. Still can't get used to the food here. Come back later when my digestive system's more agreeable. Fuck it. Bitch, I had like a fucked up nightmare and you're fucking talking about your sick tum-tum? God, someone did. Just like snapping at him. Okay, I have to go do work things now. Come on, Bubba, you're fine. I bet we've eaten worse. From the sounds of it, probably true. Seem like they've been through some shit. Alright. Off we go. What? Why are you pointing me over here? What does that arrow point me to? What is this? What does this point me to? What is this? I was just supposed to like deliver it to him from my fucking computer. I'll do that later. I got shit to do. Okay, so I'm gonna bring Ares facility. I'm going to bring Ractor, Duncan, and Isabel. I'm just saving up my money to buy better shit. Like, I'm not hiring some fool. Central Hong Kong spills out along Victoria Harbor, all glittering chrome and neon flashing against the night's darkness. The skyscrapers are a jagged nest of mirrored knives thrust into the sky, rending the clouds as they ascend into the heavens. The Ares Asia Holdings complex squats menacingly over Chatter Road, a steel and concrete tumor intertwined with nearby buildings and a web of sky bridges and shared parking structures. You make your way inside and ascend to the 5th floor, a public foyer that connects to the restricted areas of the complex. I was going to say Ares again. As the elevator opens, you arrive in cold, dimly lit reception area. Beyond it, your quarry awaits. This is just like shit I've got on my person. What is this? Summon the spirit of a long-dead sorcerer. Yeah, it's just stuff I have on me. Yeah, let's just do that. Sounds good. Exiting the Ares Asia Holdings elevator on the 5th floor on the skyscraper complex, the antiseptic odor of the Megacorporations' offices assails your nostrils. The immaculately detailed interior speaks volumes of the wealth and control the North American industrial giant has come to wield over the free enterprise zone. And Ractor's like, this place is bullshit. Ractor glances at his bracer, pulling up a page of notes on Ares Asia Holdings and scrolling through it. We're looking for a lab between the floor 15 and 40. Everything below 15 is shopping and recreation, and the residential areas span 41 to 92. The auto repair circuit should be up there as well. I know Taylor and Hardingham. They'll keep it close to their main lab so they can work on the project in their off hours, and they'll need specialized testing equipment. Things you can't fit in an apartment, even a big one. So everything we're looking for will be near the main lab. Yes. Once we plant the altered visitor record data, we can find the lab's precise location. From there, everything we need should be nearby. Oh, Ractor. How I love helping you get revenge. Hello, Secretary. How are you doing, gorgeous? Would you mind letting us in, love? Welcome to Ares Asia Holdings, a division of Ares Macro Technology. How may I assist you? I've got a report on drone field testing I need to present. But you're obviously not an Ares citizen. Why would you be presenting anything? Ractor draws himself up straight, puffing his chest out as he raises his voice. I am Dr. Ractor, formerly employed by Grishan Aviakor. I was the director of drone development for over 10 years, and the drone you see is part of my latest project. He looks unsure of himself. You can see his eyes flit to a conspicuous panic button mounted on the wall mounted to the side of his desk. What? But he doesn't move. You aren't on the guest. Ractor plows on, his booming voice cutting the secretary's question in half. It's a fully autonomous quadrupedal defense and attack drone with the integrated fire direction data management, adaptive auto-soft parsing, and modular weapons integration. This drone redefines bleeding edge. What's more, it has an adaptive experience registry subprogram. To wit, it learns. The secretary blinks a few times, his eyes glazed over by Ractor's barrage of technobabble. Oh, yes, I see. That's a lot of interesting information. What should I put down on the arrival sheet then? Ractor regards the receptions coldly, and curls one corner of his mouth into a sneer. Put down that I am here to make a sales pitch. If there is any company in this world with an interest in cutting-edge combat drones, it should be Ares Macro Technology. I have a full report on field and stress tests, part-time to failure, and combat efficacy. And I do not like being delayed. Very well. Have a pleasant evening, Doctor. Please stay on this floor until your escort from the Drone Research Division arrives. You're not my dad. You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. So, by stay on this floor, you mean open every door to every room that doesn't fucking belong to me because I'm a nosy bitch? I think that's exactly what you mean. I think that's exactly what you want me to do. I'm gonna touch everything, because I'm a fucking asshole. Where am I going? Oh my god, there's so many doors. There's so many doors touching my face. Hello? I'm breaking in. Oh, random lady. Don't mind me, just coming over here to touch stuff. This office computer doesn't appear to be fully locked. It rests on an info page about Ares Asia Holdings. With a little finesse, a Decker could probably get into the user's secret email. Isabel rattles out a few lines of code, and the machine beeps softly. You know, I'd expect Ares employees to be more careful with data security, but I guess nobody's perfect. From inside the machine's secure storage, you can access recent email and recent project updates. Most of the email is boring: lunch plans, updates on hardware requests, complaints about office lighting, and things of that nature. One thread catches your eye, though. I don't know why you're having such difficulty understanding our matrix upgrades, Chang. Chang. Shh. Yes. I've given you the bypass codes for the blocker IC at least 3 times already. Maybe you should write them down or something. Anyway, here they are again. These codes should allow you to bypass the blocker IC in our secure data store, and also for security scheduling. Corporal Quack, Matrix Security Division. Don't sass me, Corporal. I wouldn't be in this situation if you hadn't been promising the Matrix upgrades will be complete next week for the past 6 months. After 4 months of waiting, I stopped thinking about it. Now, every time I make a pull request from our depot, that damn IC gets in my persona's face and demands another set of passcodes. Thank you for the bypass codes, though. I'll write them on the back of my hand or something. Dr. Shang, Ares Asia Research. Updates. Most of this employee's records involve construction projects in and around Hong Kong, but one project referred to only as number 2231 stands out. Dr. Shang, I'm concerned about the amount of resources you've requested to pursue Project 2231, particularly because we are Ares Asia Holdings, not Ares America. 2231 is an Ares America project, not one of ours. What explanation can you offer for this request? How can it be justified? Director, is it Wei? Ares Asia Finance. I understand your concern, Director, but you should be aware that all divisions of Ares Macro Technology have been ordered to support Project 2231 where possible. Dr. Taylor and Dr. Hardingham are particularly interested in testing their prototype in support of Project 2231. I am simply requesting enough manpower to find suitable subjects to test their prototype against. Dr. Shang, Ares Asia Research. The risk involved in local research is unacceptable at this time. This is the entire reason the bulk of 2231 related research takes place at Complex 68G, and why 68G is in the middle of the frozen tundra. I would be willing to divert additional engineers for Taylor and Hardingham's project if they would be willing to create another prototype with the intent of shipping it to Complex 68G. Dr. Wei, Ares Asia Finance. I'll talk to them about it, Director. If you think it's not possible any other way, I'll impress it upon them. Dr. Shang, Ares Asia Research. Okay. Holdings. The contents of the page consist primarily of marketing jargon, smiling corporate citizens, and a lot of information about the relatively recent incorporation of Ares Asia Holdings. Unfortunately, there's very little of value here unless you have an interest in stock photographs and corporate jingoism. Secure files. Oh, I've already done that. Never mind. Goodbye. Well, we did the thing. Touching shit we ain't supposed to be touching, because of course we are. Who is this guy? Knight Errant Guard. I'll go this way. Don't mind me, just passing through. Whoa. Good evening. May I see your guest pass? The receptionist didn't give me one. I'm sorry to inform you that you'll have to stay on this floor without an escort. Company protocol, you understand. Of course I do. Bye. Why am I zoomed in so much? Zoom out. There we go. Raptor's like, I don't like the guy talks too much. I'm like, I know, right? Anyway, there's another little area over here that I wanted to touch with my face. This one. What's this? What's this? It's, wait. Oh, Matrix terminal. It's touching their faces. Isabel, go fuck some shit up. I love that there's just stuff like this, just like trying to get a feel for this shit. Okay, so they're going around in circles. Shit. Hi. That was completely uncalled for, Isabel. It's all the way you fucked up that robot. It was rude. Fine ass over here. This way. Go. Okay, so how's his tracking? He's going back and forth. Oh my god, there's like 50 of these things. Oh, fuck off. Somebody. behind me. Duck. Duck. Go. Run. There's so much going on here that I am just not okay with right now. God, I'm so fast, dude. It's a fucking issue for me. So, shit, fuck. Don't come over here. Dang it. Go away. Like, they don't care how much fucking noise you make. I'm like, well, I care how much noise I make. Okay, we're gonna reload. Oh my god, that was hard. I have to plan it there, I think. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll put my shit into my charisma like I was going to. And then I'll do that. The last place I saved it, though. Alright, let's go find out real quick. I'll stop auto-saving you, dingus. I already know. That one. Alright, I just want to see where I saved it last. The dig. Oh, and Haley. It must have been after I could go back here. It would just be a real quick thing I could do. Okay, let's do this. Let's just go back to the dig. We'll go back to Haley, and we'll start from there. I feel like that would be easier than the dumb shit I was about to do. Oh my god, is this... No, this has to be before... or on the way out, right? It's gotta be. Okay, it is. I was reading that little fucking blurb and I was like, shit. Gotta give the mummy thing to that guy. Do I just give it to him? Oh, I guess he's coming to pick it up. So he gets a curse now. That's fine. Okay, so instead of doing the Ractor job, I'm gonna go to sleep first, and then I'll go look at my other work and everything. Well, after I accept payment. I need to find a way to spend my money on... I think there's some places around here that have weapons, right? Should be. Oh, I'm not even paying attention. There we go. come on. Thank you. I get a call. She's like, okay. Auntie. Take one step away, and she's like, hey, hello, Auntie. I'm ready right away, Auntie. I'll see you soon. Okay. Love you. Bye. She grabs on you. She seems like one of those people that would have to, like a parasite. She'd have to grow on you like a parasite. Oh, wait. Every time, I always get turned around at that corner. She always wants to call me at weird times. She's like, it's nighttime, come see me, and I'm like, I don't want to. All right, let's go talk to Auntie Chang. I just love how Raptor's like, hello. I'm like, hi, Raptor. Okay, we've already talked to her about this stuff. Just skip right through it. That's a guy with a plastic face who's a dick. Let's just kill these guys' dad. I'm like, good idea. I'm also gonna try it, okay, let's just skip past this. Yep. Let's just learn about everything that we can. Isabel takes over because she's a total boss. Okay. And they're just all gonna peace out because they don't want to hang out with Auntie Chang as much as I do. Let's go back to the boat. Accept our payment. I need to go talk to Duncan. I think I'm gonna save before that because I kind of want to try a couple of different options as far as talking to him, which was kind of my plan, but then I got distracted by my own face. So I didn't get distracted by my face. Just payment. Jobs directory. Claim. And claim. You're welcome. Okay, let's save it here instead of the Raptor job. Or not, that's fine too. Why can't I save it here? Go away. Go away. Let's go talk to Duncan again. Why won't you let me save it here? Why won't you let me save you? Oh, there it goes. It's because I was standing too close to the computer. There's something going on with the computer that I need to know about. Like, is it bugged? What's wrong with it? Alright, let's go talk to our brother again. Duncan. Sense of deja vu for you. You're gonna wear a hole in the floor that way. Let's still do that one. Are you gonna be okay? And he's like, no. Oh, dogs are barking. I don't know what they're barking at, but they're barking. I have a roommate downstairs. It should be fine. Can you hear them? One of them's called me. Don't fixate on her, woo. I kind of want to try this one. Yeah, let's try this one. But also, yeah, we could die. Let's just go with this one. It's more sound. My way, Duncan? I still like that one. It's kind of funny. Because he's like, fuck. Let's do this middle one here. No, yeah, let's do the same one we did here. This is the one I want to do. That's this one. He could be pretty damn rigid, but then again, you both could. Yeah, I know. I've been working on it, but I definitely still have my moments. Ray and I had our little pattern, didn't we? I wouldn't listen, he wouldn't listen, then we butted heads. Rinse and repeat once every few weeks. But that time was the worst. It's the same thing. I need for us to butt heads. Catch you then, Octa. Sure. Alright, let's go have nightmares. Yeah, that's one way to get to your room. Just go straight through the wall. Look at Duncan watching us. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, apparently not going to bed. Alright, let's go to sleep. I think I should get more karma, yes. The nightmare was bad. Stabbing pain in my tum-tum. Everything sucks. Finally fell back to sleep. Let's go check in with Duncan again. Because I'm a good adopted brother. Why can't I just romance you? He's like, last time I heard. And I'm like, I know, bro, me too. Alright, we need to do more work. But I think what I'm going to do first is spend my karma and my skills. And I have 8, so I'm going to put 7 of that into my charisma. Do what you're told. Because I like being that person. And I have one more I can put somewhere. What did I put last time? Oh, it was drone combat. Let's do that. Okay, let's go look at my other jobs. Let's do stuff that's not Fracture's mission yet. Inbox for messages. Urgent task, restaurant job, Auntie Chang and Josephine. So who's this from? Oh, from Gobbit. Hey, Seattle. I think I can add a little context to that thing between Auntie Chang and Josephine Singh. You know, the thing that makes Auntie hit the sauce and talk revenge. This is a combo of stuff I heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as tax collectors within the walled city. Since the walled city was built by Josephine Singh and the Yellow Lotus was run by Auntie Chang, they must have had a working business relationship, for a while at least. From what Nightjar told me, he was her favorite. You got that right. Auntie Chang was known as a real up-and-comer back in then. She was on the fast track to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there were a lot of triads and cores doing biz in the walled city. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they work together nicely, and sometimes people get bloody. The way that I heard it, Auntie came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate business in the walled city. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Singh's company, and everyone else would get cut out. If her plan worked, Auntie would rise in the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Singh would make long bank. There was a catch, though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. There would be street-level maneuvering and power plays on Auntie's side, and the blackmail and negotiations on the corporate level from Josephine Singh. My info gets sketchy here. From what I've pieced together, Singh went behind Auntie's back and took her plan to her boss at 438 named Wong Lun Fat. They cut kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Singh do that? My guess is that she saw Auntie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wong Lun Fat is weak and greedy. She can be manipulated if her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in the Wall City, just like Auntie planned, only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the Lotus Ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw sandal, just like she was before Singh backstabbed her, and now she's stuck in Hayway like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. Got it. Good to know. Let's do the restaurant job. One of the things I've learned over the years is that even the rich and powerful have annoyances, thorns in their side, if you will. No one is without troubles. The rich just have different ways of solving them. The client for this run has grown tired of one particular thorn in his side. Shang Xing at Rooster Low. Low is a red pole for one of the smaller triads here in Hong Kong, the 289s, or the Easy Money Gang if you prefer. Despite the 289's small stature, Low's illegal activities have managed to damage the client's profits. Mr. Johnson would like you to help him show Low the error of his ways. Low takes an evening every few months to dine at the Shangri-La restaurant in Aberdeen. If you aren't aware, the Shangri-La is an elite establishment serving primarily corporate clientele from Wuxing Incorporated. Because of this, it's not unusual for diners to bring bodyguards or assistants with them. In Low's case, he brings a particularly brutish enforcer known as the Talon, and undoubtedly feels well protected. You're going to prove just how wrong he is in this regard. You are to kidnap Rooster Low. So long as he's alive and in relatively good health, all options are on the table. While keeping the run quiet would make things easier for Mr. Johnson, no one will shed too many tears over a few dead triad thugs. The client has arranged an exit via boat. So long as you can get Low from the interior to the restaurant's dock, the client will handle everything else. Despite being a red pole, Lo is a tactician, not a fighter. Don't expect him to put up much of a fight. The Talon, on the other hand, is as nasty as they come. Be careful about how you confront him, or things may go very badly. Let's do that. I've let the client know you've accepted the job. By the time you arrive at the Shangri-La, the boat to get you out will be waiting. Okay, let's go. What other jobs do we have? What was this? Oh, I'm not doing this right now. Go away. I got restaurant shit to do. Oh, Shadowrun BBS. I haven't looked at that in a while. Whoa. Police shootout in Victoria Harbor. 50,000 Nguyen the HKPF is promising in connection with the terrorist cell they're hunting, so I've been digging around for some better information. Think I've got some stuff of value. Turns out they had a handler here in Hong Kong by the name of Raymond Black. The HKPF tried to take him into custody the day before, but were forced to kill him in a shootout. Looks like Black and the terrorists are members of the White Star group of Henan. Isn't White Star all about restoring Imperial China? One of those terrorists they killed was obviously North American. Why would she be helping a pro-imperialist group? You got money, you can buy any kind of person you need. You're on the Shadowlands, Ome. You should know that. So what do I know about Black and his band of thugs? Anything we can use to track them down? The data I've been able to dig up says that Black was from Henan and was distantly related to the royal family. He spent a couple of decades in Seattle making connections in the shadows in preparation for an attack on the Free Enterprise Zone. I've attached some dossiers on his remaining agents. You sift through a long stream of data detailing who you and Duncan are. While the general details about your name and life are correct, many of the small details are wildly inaccurate. You're listed as having lived in Laos for the past 4 years, while Duncan is noted as having spent most of his life in prison. You move on to peruse Gaba and Isabel's ostensible biographies. The dossier lists Gaba's real name as Yu Shun Gui, and her place of birth as Zhan Shanzi. According to the contents, she is 23 years old and served with the Baihu corporate military until conviction for insubordination led to her dishonorable discharge. While you can't be certain Gaba doesn't speak Mandarin, the idea of her belonging in the military, any military, is downright laughable. Isabel, in turn, is listed as Fatima Abukar. Apparently, Isabel was educated at an early age in terrorism and piracy by the revolutionaries of the Ethio-Malian territories, and is wanted in connection with the bombing of 2052 bomb attack on the French embassy in Johannesburg. Given that you know that Isabel grew up here in Hong Kong, this information appears to be as laughably inaccurate as your own dossier. Posey Bash. Alright folks, we're trying it again, this time under a super secret code name. There's no telling... Oh, Posey? Is it poetry? How long this will last, so let the bashing begin. Super secret code name? You just ran the words poetry slam through the thesaurus. Poetry, people, not complaints. A thief on the run, a silence in the dark, the rat shaman lurks. Got one for the coyote shamans too. An unbound trickster, the shaman fears no peril, wily coyote. On a roll, Jivey. Here's another one, if mad can stand it. Pulses of light glance off bright chrome, translucent spheres encase my treasure, mirrors and tubes and neon implode, another day in the matrix. Hey, I can do traditional. I happen to prefer the haiku because less typing. Gossamer tresses, infinity in your gaze, very pointy ears. Extra points for using gossamer correctly in a sentence. I like elves. Jaiber is still the master of the haiku, in fact. Oh, graveyard creeper, ashen skin, spindly fingers, and claws freak me out. Alright, Shakespeare's, this is strike 2. This thread is getting locked and you aren't doing this again. Got me? This board is for deckers who want to talk shop. There are plenty of other forms that you can use for your stupid amateur poetry. I'd suggest that you go find one. It's fine. Top shelf sublet, available immediately. Like the title says, good location, cheap rent, serious offers only, please. What do you mean by top shelf? As in a fancy corp condo? How do you manage that? Nah, man, it's literally the top shelf of the converted maintenance closet I live in. You're joking. No joke, it's cheap and the location's good, right near the Temple Street night market, and it has super fast access, just in case you need to get in and out of the Matrix quick. I'm not the sort to ask questions. There's just about enough space to stretch out your legs lying down, and there's a ceiling hook for your gear. What do you say? I don't know, I need a place, but still. A shelf in a shared closet? Screw that. I've got a sweet pad to rent that you can have all to yourself. It's not Victoria Peak or anything, but it's a bargain. Where's it at? Kowloon Walled City. It's one of the new construction units on the outer edge. I'll throw in a second ceiling hook. Deal? Okay, message me and we'll work out the nitty-gritty. Seriously, the walled city isn't that bad. My apartment is huge and it even has windows. I'll beat Harbor Rat's rent. In fact, just tell me what you want to pay. What we pay. Hello? Oh my god, there's so much news I haven't read. This newscast just aired. If anyone wants to watch real-time Isabar data on Earthsat images of the storm, the basic service paywall on Skywatcher imagery. The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation as tropical storm Usagi has grown into a full-strength typhoon Category 3 in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi has formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this growing trend of awakened cold season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the eastern Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convection over polar ocean waters. The newscaster looks down at her notes. According to the official release by Lance and Roki of the IJMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Awakened storms exhibit anomalous physical and magical behavior. Many experts believe they show reactive intelligence and possibly even self-awareness, and will resist making landfall to prolong their lives, even holding position against prevailing winds. Study of these storms is inhibited by their extreme environmental conditions and astral turbulence. In physical strength, Usagi may peak as a violent typhoon Category 5 on the Eastern Pacific scale, but will weaken substantially before making landfall. Although mariner lore is replete with tales of malicious storms, scientists have detected no provable animosity towards metahumans and the behavior of these miracles of nature. Learn more on wild storms of the Pacific. This week's episode of Savage Nature with host Bertrand Madanicker? Okay. The Guangdong coast will likely have a long precursor battery with drenching rains but moderate winds as Usagi stalls offshore. Usagi is one of the more powerful storms of the season, but is not unusual. Usagi does not have super typhoon potential. This is going to be perfect. A long soft hit by Usagi, lots of electromagnetic interference, security, and cops all tied up. It's running season. I hope everyone's ready for a high operational tempo. Our fixers are already scrambling for crews. I heart storms. Okay. I have a lot of stuff to read on here, but I think most of it is on. Alright, that's all my stuff. Okay, we're gonna save it here, and that's gonna be it for now. When we come back, we will go do that restaurant job because I need to get more karma so I can up my charisma and stuff, because I would like to be able to talk my way more into places. It would just be easier if I could, instead of having to like constantly like wrestle through online security and stuff. So that is what we're gonna do. But I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, you know, if you did. I love this game. It's a lot of fun. I'm sorry if I sound tired. It's because I am tired. It's first week back to school, and I've had a lot of work already like thrown on me and everything, and you know, we're getting ready to start doing surgical assisting and dentistry and stuff like that, and learning about anesthesiology and yeah, all that. So I love you guys very much, and I hope that everybody is staying safe and staying warm, and I will see you guys next time. Okay? I love you very much. Bye.